The quester begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello, my quester community. I sure hope everyone's doing okay. It's me, Russo, the quester, and I've got something neat planned today. Because I know many of you are probably getting bored, feeling stuck at home, inside, indoors, and I know you probably wish you could go out and explore, but today, the quester has something fun in store. You know, I've had an up and down week, but today I'm feeling so much better because I recently received my very first quester community letter. It's from a friend named Merritt, who lives at the top of my state, and she sent me her quester question this week, and I read it and thought, that is great! So, I wrote her a letter back, and just before I sent it off, I had myself a really good quester community thought. Hold on, have I been rhyming this whole time? Goodness me. Rhyme stop. Huh. I think they're gone for good. No, they'll probably be back. Anyways, like I was saying, I wrote my friend Mara a letter, and before I sent it off to her, I thought to myself, I bet you that some of my friends in the quester community have never ever written a letter before, or sent something in the mail. And so today, what we're gonna do as a quester community is a 5-step quester community letter challenge. I'm gonna challenge each one of you to sit down and write a letter and send it off to somebody you love. Because in strange times like this, while we're all stuck indoors so much and don't get to see each other face to face as much, you know, something that always brightens my day is getting a letter. And I bet you there's people in your life, maybe your grandma, your grandpa, your cousin, a friend from school, or maybe even just me, the quester, who would love to hear from you through a letter. So we're gonna follow these 5 steps and send out letters to the people we love. Here's how we're gonna do it. Follow me. Well, step number 1 is simply decide who you want to send your letter to. As I said, it might be a family member or a friend. Maybe you want to send a letter or a question or a drawing to the quester himself. I know I would love to hear from you. Step number 1 has already been checked off for me. I know I'm sending my letter to Merritt. Now, step number 2 is to gather your supplies. You'll definitely need a pen, you'll need some paper to write on, and then you'll need an envelope with a stamp to go on it at the end. Magnifying glass is optional, but it definitely is kind of cool looking. Step number 3 is write out your letter. Whatever you want to say, whether it's encouraging or loving or just how much you miss them, tell them what you're doing, any of those things would be great. People just love hearing from one another through letters. I've already written out my letter, so I'm gonna tear it out of my notebook and fold it up. Then I tuck my letter inside the envelope and seal it up. Step number 4 is maybe the trickiest. This is probably the most important step. You don't want to get anything wrong on this one, because step number 4 is how to address your envelope. You definitely want to have an adult help you with this part if you've never done it before. Addressing your envelope will tell the mailman who the letter is from and where the letter is from, who the letter is to, and where the letter is supposed to go. You've got to get the address right, otherwise the letter won't end up arriving where it's supposed to go. Here's how you address the letter. Let me teach you. The first thing you're going to want to do is to write your name at the very top of the letter. I wrote the quester. The second thing you're going to want to do is to write your address. That way, if your letter gets lost in the mail, the mailman will know who to bring it back to. I'm going to write my address. Okay, I've written my name and my address at the top. The second thing you want to do is tell the mailman who it's to and where it's supposed to go. So, this letter is going to Merritt Speece. I've got Merritt's name on the envelope, so he knows who it's to when it gets to her house. And then I'm gonna write her address. I've written her address and her name now, and the final thing I need to do is put a stamp on. The stamp is what pays the postman for delivering your letter to your friend. Perfect. I've got my letter stamped, it's addressed, and it's ready to go. Well, step number 5 is probably the easiest. You simply have to send your letter in the mail. It's called posting it. You can find a mailman in your neighborhood, you can go to the post office, or you can stick your letter in your own mailbox and flip the flag up, and the mailman will pick it up the next day. I hope Merritt is as excited to get a letter from me as I was to get one from her. I bet whoever you send a letter to is also going to be so excited to get a letter from you. Now that you know how to do it, here's my Quester challenge. We've got a lot more time on our hands these days that we're spending at home, and I would encourage you to write a lot of letters to a lot of people so they know how much you care for them. I know again that I would absolutely love to hear from you. If you'd like to write me a letter, my address is Russo or the Quester, P.O. Box 645, Jacksonville, Oregon 97530. I would love to hear from my Quester community. In fact, anybody who sends me a letter this month will get something really neat in the mail because there's something cool coming down the pipes that I'm really excited to share with you guys in the upcoming weeks. But again, whoever sends me something in the mail this month is going to get something back from me. I'm excited to send it to you, and I'm excited to hear from you, so send your letters off. And again, as always, as we say before we go, take care of those around you. Always lend a helping hand, like writing letters to people. Keep asking life's big questions. Do your best to understand. Be the best and most kindest you that you can possibly be, and seek truth along with love, which is the key that will set us free. I'm Russo, aka the Quester. I can't wait to hear from you, and I know that your friends and family are going to be so happy to hear from you when they get letters also. Until then, I'll talk to you again soon, friends. Bye.